What you are about to see is real. All video and audio was captured in an actual paranormal investigation. Nothing has been manufactured or staged.
Previously on Local Haunts, the team reinvestigated the Florida Theater, and spiritual medium Pamela Theresa was connecting to the ghosts that dwell in the massive arena. What more will they find as they explore this local haunt?
Hello and welcome to Local Haunts. I'm your host, Steve Christian. Tonight we conclude our investigation in my very favorite local haunt, the beautiful Florida Theater. Joining me on this investigation is spiritual medium Pamela Theresa and my sister Amy Gaston, and on camera, Joe Talentino and guest Adam Janklow. We had caught some interesting pictures and even a video capture of a partial apparition while investigating on the stage. Here, one of the earthbound spirits that dwell in the theater appears for our camera. Pamela had spirits cooperating with us, but we had just begun. We were on the stage and something interesting was happening. Adam was seeing orbs flying around Amy and Roger, and at the same time, the K2 meters Roger was holding would spike with activity.
Really, they light up when it goes by? That is really awesome.
Steve knows this thing hardly
See the
ever
thing?
goes to
Every time it goes to 3, he says he sees something, and this thing gets something like 2.2.
Yeah, that thing's
And
hardly ever.
but it's not flickering, it's like a steady right here. It's been here the whole time we've been here.
And this is where you're getting the orb activity?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if I step back here, you never see anything, it just drops. But then when I walk over here, it's like boom, now I see it. That's every time I move into this field right around here.
So for the skeptics out there, we have an electrically charged
Right.
moth
It
flying
just-
around in your
Yeah, it just flew over your heads, both your heads.
Bugs do not set off K2 meters. So is it paranormal?
And that's exactly where Pamela was saying the energy was in this general area. So, I mean, I can validate, certainly, EMF is here.
She, we'll call her Goldie.
Goldie?
Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One was in the chair over here?
Uh-huh. And Amy felt her move. And
Yeah,
that's about the
Oh,
time.
did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said she was gone.
Uh-huh. And then he was saying that he's seeing stuff.
Well, I just felt somebody back here.
She's like second in command. We've yet to conversate
With the big dude?
with the big dude.
So Goldie's second in command? So
Pretty
there's
much.
equal opportunity haunting going on here, is what you're saying.
And
That's cool.
absolutely.
Are any of the ones that you can sense, the ones that Steve caught up there, do you know? On the seat?
We're going to go up to the balcony.
Oh.
When we turn the lights back on, y'all should be able to see, you should be able to see movement very clearly. I mean, I don't know, maybe I take for granted that I see it, but you should be able to see there's quite a bit of activity in here with your physical eyes.
Yeah, that night we caught him. I
Uh-huh.
mean, we all saw.
Yeah.
It was like back and forth, back and forth. That's why she was shooting up there.
I've not picked up on who you're talking about, although I don't know her story,
Mm-hmm.
so I could be wrong, but I was asking and I get like no answer on that, so.
Okay.
But
As far as Joseph
when you
Hilton?
said Joe, I mean, what I heard was Joshua,
Okay.
so I don't know who that is. That's not Joe.
Right. In part one of this investigation, we had asked if there was a spirit named Joseph there. We called an EVP of a name Joshua. And by nature of what an EVP is, no one heard the name at the time. It wasn't until reviewing footage that we realized we had recorded the EVP saying Joshua. However, Pamela can hear Spirit and heard him say his name when it was recorded. The EVP validates Pamela's abilities.
See, I'm already like, I don't
I
know.
just saw something.
I was gonna say, I don't know if it's the lights because I'm moving around, but I see like.
Yeah, there's
movement.
quite a few out there. You can go out there and seek them and feel them, and you would know that they're right out there.
Oh, yeah, right over our heads, just right here where Joe was standing.
There it goes again.
And as soon as you say that, we get K2 activity again.
Coming up on Local Haunts, the ghost of the Florida Theater takes center stage.
Can you show yourself to the camera, please? We continued our investigation of the Florida Theater on the stage. Pamela was picking up the spirit of a little girl who had died in the theater. She was unaware that a little girl did in fact fall to her death from the balcony years ago.
She had a serious injury to the jaw.
Yeah.
The little girl did.
Both went up.
Oh,
Yeah, the mom, yeah.
is she by any chance, did she pass away in this theater?
Yeah.
Is she the little girl that, can you tell you what happened to somebody here?
Well, no.
All right.
No.
All right. As I approached the subject of the little girl's death, Spirit was telling Pamela not to talk about it because the little girl was right there too. This EVP was picked up by the camera and validated this. Can you tell you what happened to somebody here?
Well, no.
All right.
No.
All right. All right.
Anyway,
But you're right. You're validated there. A little girl did die in this theater.
but she's here with her mom, Goldie, the lady who's second in command.
Well, not that big.
Yeah, and it's on the neck and it's on the jaw right here.
Meanwhile, Roger was a little bit giddy off to the side because his EMF detector and his K2 meter were going off simultaneously, validating the presence of Spirit. What's going on?
Nothing, we're just, the lights are just kind of, it's nice to be able to coordinate the two for a change.
Oh,
Yeah, that's good.
That's exactly what I like to look for. Perfect.
so you're getting...
I would say that the mother passed after the daughter did. So she just came here, but there's a strong connection to the theater. Pretty much anybody that's allowed into the theater has a connection to the theater. So there's like a hierarchy that goes on here. It's like they don't really allow earthbounds to just kind of roam in here and hang out. It's like there's a selection process.
Really?
So you have to have a connection.
Auditions?
No, not exactly auditions, but because of the fact that we have very old souls here that have remained here for quite a while, there has to be a significant connection to the theater itself before they're allowed to possess the space.
So it doesn't have anything to do with the fact that it's a public building that's open for
This is
people
their,
coming?
yeah, this is their domain, and not to say that other people may bring in attachments, but they don't stay, they're not allowed to stay. So it's very, that's why you have old energy here and heavy energy. They're kind of prejudiced in the way of, and she's got a really good hold of my arm here.
And as you can see, some mosquitoes are flying around inside the theater. It's very obvious these are bugs and not orbs. During this conversation between Pamela and I, you'll hear lots of EVPs. As they're talking on top of us, it's kind of hard to clean them and filter them. But listen for whispered voices on top of us. That's Spirit commenting on our conversation. Are you picking up on any of the energies that may have been here before the theater was built? Because there was a building that stood here before the theater.
That's what I asked.
Well, they have to have a significant connection to the space, to the theater, or to the land here.
Well, I'll go ahead and tell you that the theater was built and opened in 1927. Before that, there was the jail stood here. And before that, there was housing.
They're not really so much welcome here. We have a higher, they're not really so much welcome. It's not like the jail people that are here.
Okay.
No, this is theater.
All right.
This is theater folk, and they pretty well cleaned it out. And maybe that's why at this point and generations later, they're very selective over who's allowed in.
Okay.
Because maybe they had to get rid of the riffraff.
All right.
So this is like primo earthbound real estate.
So they probably sent the jail people down to the new jail?
Go to the light.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here?
That's right.
Okay.
So it's very heavily connected to the theater here.
Well, before the jail, there was a great fire in downtown Jacksonville, as everybody
Yeah.
that people know, in 1901. There was housing here, and the fire ripped through here and burned down houses. I don't know if there's any fatalities in those houses.
Of course there were, but no,
On
that's
this property,
like
I
I'm
don't
telling you,
know.
all I'm picking up here is the theater.
Okay.
So
So they pretty much have taken over? All right. So are they all tied to the theater?
they're tied to the theater, they're connected in one way or another. That's
Okay.
the strong voice that I'm giving her. So the history of the theater, would be helpful if I had a history buff that, like Olga in a situation like that, but I don't know. Anyway, we'll just go with that. But go over there to the number 1 seat,
All right.
and you should be able to capture. It's no different than the physical realm, the earthbound realms, in the way the physical realm people naturally organize and filter out, so they do as well in the earthbound realms.
Finally, we catch an EVP that can be cleaned and filtered because no one else is talking at the time, and it's a very good quality. As I approached this chair to validate the boss spirit in the theater, he was afraid of me, because for the first time, someone was going to feel his presence. Here is that EVP amplified and filtered. What I'm doing is I'm feeling the energy out here, and then you move into an earthbound spirit, and you can feel the difference between here and here, and it's a warmer and it's a tingle. And he's a powerful.
Right.
He's the boss. So. We just caught one of the most touching EVPs I've ever heard. The little girl asked me not to hurt her dad, a man whom she considers in her world her father.
Right.
He's the boss.
Coming up on Local Haunts, the ghost of the Florida Theater takes center stage.
Can you show yourself to the camera, please? We were moving our investigation up to the balcony, and on the way to the stairs, we caught this EVP. As we took the stairs, Pamela confirmed that she was picking up on an accident that happened here.
Be careful. What? Like that hasn't happened.
That's exactly what's happening.
No, shut up.
This is the seat that we call it the Apparition. Section E, 500 EE, seat 2. Okay. During our first investigation of the Florida Theater, we caught this amazing video that made history. In fact, the nationally broadcast program tried to disprove this video and couldn't. But was history going to repeat itself tonight? If there's somebody up here with us right now, could you please tell us your name? Your voice from down there.
Yeah.
That's how it was last time we were up here. They're talking down there.
Yeah, that's the little girl.
Now, we had a couple of them ask for help on our previous investigations.
Well, I already talked to them, but no,
So you can get up there. So you're gonna help anybody who wants help?
if they want it, but they know what's going on. They know they're dead,
Okay.
but not dead.
Right.
They know the difference between them and those who come in here to be entertained. So, yeah, they pretty much enjoy their existence. Yeah.
So we're up here, now we're hearing all kinds of noises on stage.
Right, exactly. But whatever that guy died of, anyway, I don't know if you're linking me to the experience that you had that night and capturing him, but definitely it feels like my legs were peeled. Right? I don't know.
The guy in the chair?
Yeah. So I don't know.
That would explain why he's in the front of it. Might be like a handicap type seating.
Right. Oh, and see, they were talking about the handicap seating down there as well. Remember when you were going towards it?
Right.
Yeah, I definitely felt somebody in the one by the flag.
Uh-huh. Well, there's a lot of somebodies in here.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I believe they said there was 38 when I asked that question on our last investigation here.
Oh, that's conservative.
Probably. But they may have gotten some more since then, too.
No, they're an old crowd.
So there's no newbies in here?
Very few. Like I said, this has been settled for a while. This is old spirit. This is going to be a fun tour.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. They're aware of what's coming up.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, very
They
cool.
hear the conversation. They were up there when we were having conversation in the beginning.
Okay.
So they know what's going on.
So they know about the local haunts after dark tours,
Yes.
after hours tours, excuse me.
That's right, after hours
Cool.
tours. Yeah. So they're going up for it. So it's gonna be their showtime. You'll probably capture some pretty good stuff.
That's very cool.
Coming up on Local Haunts, the ghost of the Florida Theater takes center stage.
Can you show yourself to the camera, please? At the conclusion of our investigation, we were shooting some promotional footage and beauty shots of the theater. And while doing so, we captured more incredible evidence. Watch closely. In the background of this shot, on the stairs, keep your eye in this area. You'll notice movement on the stairs leading up to the stage. Right after we shot this, Pamela told us that the little girl who had died in the theater from a fall from the balcony was sitting on those very stairs while we were shooting. She could clearly see her sitting there the whole time. The camera picked her up as movement and shifting light, but it validates Pamela. Keep looking between Pamela and Amy, just over Pamela's shoulder. The little girl keeps fading in and out. It's as if she's transitioning from a less to a more solid state, and then back again. Joe kept the camera rolling as we were organizing our thoughts for the promo we were shooting. Other than Pamela, we had no idea what was going on behind us. The little girl was just sitting there watching us shoot this promo. And she was probably having fun watching us goof off in these outtakes. There she is again. And again. She's appearing as a strobing light on the stairs. And here she is again. She's sitting here the whole time, but she's only visible in intervals. And again. And again. Her energy fluctuates in and out as she's trying to materialize for us. Before we shot the promo footage you just watched, Joe Talentino was shooting beauty shots of the theater. The little girl is faintly visible sitting on the stairs here. Here you can see her face, and she has her arms resting on her knees. She is simply sitting on the stairs looking at the camera. Local Haunts made history catching video of an apparition in the Florida theater. And on this night, history repeated itself. If you or somebody you know would like to book Pamela for a private or group read, contact her at mediumintheraw.com and reconnect to lost loved ones.